Hello everyone, I am Vandana Arora studying in Shahid Bhagat Singh College. In this video, I am going to discuss about the different types of GST returns. This video is for my internal assessment. So let us begin now. Firstly, for the understanding of types of GST returns, we need to understand the GST returns. So basically, for properly updating the invoices, the Indian taxpayers and businesses have to file certain returns with the government. These returns have to be mandatorily filed, as any non-compliance may lead to penalties or interest as maybe. So now we come to the main topic, that is types of GST returns. In types of GST returns, we have 11 types of forms. First is GSTR1. GSTR refers to the goods and services tax returns. In this GSTR1, it is a type of return that is to be filed by the normal taxpayer. I have categorized into three parts, that is what to file, by whom and by when. What to file: the taxpayer records all his outward supplies of goods and services in detail in this form by registered tax, and then comes by whom it is to be filed. It is to be filed by the registered taxpayer suppliers, and then by when it is to be filed. It is to be filed by 10th of the next month. 10th of the next month का यहाँ पे मतलब है जिस मंथ की रिटर्न हम फाइल कर रहे हैं उसके अगले मंथ की 10 तारीख तक हमें ये भरना होगा. Now it forms the basis for all the future flow and match for the credit reconciliation. So हमें इसलिए हमें GSTR1 को केयरफुली फाइल करना होता है. GSTR1 में 13 टाइप ऑफ हेड्स होते हैं, लाइक GSTIN ऑफ द टैक्सेबल पर्सन, ग्रॉस टर्नओवर इन लास्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर्स, एक्सेट्रा. Now, the second type of form comes is GSTR2. It is an auto-populated result, that is auto-generated. We don't need to fill it again and again. Only GSTR1 is to be filled once, and GSTR2 is just a verification of the information we have filled in it. It is in it what to file is this form is the culmination of all inward supplies of goods and services as approved by the recipient of the services, and then comes by whom it is to be filed. It is to be filed by the registered taxable person, and then comes by when it is to be filed. It is to be filed by the 15th of the next month. बेसिकली हमें GSTR2 में सिर्फ मैच करना होता है जो भी हमने इन्फॉर्मेशन इनवॉइसेस फिल करे थे GSTR1 में. Now comes the third type of GST returns, that is GSTR3. It is also an auto-populated, that means that it is also auto-generated like the GSTR2. In it, what to file is, it is auto prepared. It will have details of all outward as well as the inward supplies of goods and services as furnished in GSTR1 and the GSTR2. Now comes the by whom it is to be filed. It is to be filed by the registered taxable person, and then by when it is to be filed. It is to be filed by the 20th of the next month. GSTR3 जो है वो मंथली रिटर्न होती है. हमें इसे वेरीफाई करना होता है, लाइक जैसे हमने GSTR2 को वेरीफाई करा. अब आता है GSTR4 जो कि हमारा फोर्थ टाइप ऑफ रिटर्न है. इसमें व्हाट टू फाइल के अंदर आता है क्वार्टरली रिटर्न फॉर कॉम्पोजिशन स्कीम टैक्सेबल पर्सन. Then by whom it is to be filed, composition supplier. By when? 18th of the next month, 18th of the following month quarter. GSTR4 जो है वो ओनली फॉर द कॉम्पोजिशन स्कीम वाले लोगों के लिए होता है. दे डू नॉट नीड टू फिल जो कॉम्पोजिशन स्कीम के अंदर लोग आते हैं उन्हें GSTR1, 2 और 3 फिल नहीं करना होता है. दे ओनली हैव टू फिल द GSTR4. यहाँ पर अब कॉम्पोजिशन स्कीम का मतलब होता है कि जिन लोगों की टर्नओवर ₹20 लाख टू 70 लाख है उन्हें ये फिल करना होता है और क्वार्टरली फिल करना होता है. जो लोग GSTR4 फिल करते हैं उन्हें GSTR1, 2 और 3 नहीं फिल करना होता है. अब आता है GSTR5. GSTR5 is a detailed form containing the particulars of the outward supplies, imports, tax paid, input tax availed, and remaining stock. In this, what to file? Return for non-resident foreign taxable person. By whom it is to be filed? It is to be filed by the non-resident taxable person. By when? By 20th of the next month. यहाँ पे नॉन रेजिडेंट्स ऑफ इंडिया का मतलब है जो लोग इंडियंस हैं पर इंडिया में नहीं रहते हैं, फॉरेन में रहते हैं. Now comes the sixth type of return, that is GSTR6. In this, what to file? In what to file we have return for ISD. ISD here refers to the input service distributor. By whom it is to be filed? It is to be filed by the ISD. By when? By 13th of the next month. Once details confirmed by the ISD, GSTR6 is generated. It is a monthly filing. That means it is to be filed every month. Now comes the seventh type of GST return, that is GSTR7. It is also auto-generated like the GSTR2 and 3. In this, what to file? What to file comes return for the authorities deducting tax at source. That is TDS authorities. By whom it is to be filed? It is to be filed by the tax deductor. By when it is to be filed? It is to be filed by the 10th of the next month. It contains details of the tax deducted and the total amount of payment made. Now the eighth type of return, that is GSTR8. In what to file we have details of supplies made by the e-commerce seller and the amount of tax collected as well. By whom it is to be filed? It is to be filed by the e-commerce operators. By when it is to be filed? It is to be filed by the 10th of the next month. मैं यहाँ पे दोबारा बताना चाहूँगी कि 10th ऑफ द नेक्स्ट मंथ का क्या मतलब है. 10th ऑफ द नेक्स्ट मंथ मीन्स जिस मंथ की रिटर्न फाइल कर रहे हैं उसके अगले मंथ की 10 तारीख तक भरना है हमें ये फाइल. Now comes the GSTR9. GSTR9 is an annual return. In this, what to file? It is an annual return. By whom it is to be filed? It is to be filed by the registered taxable persons. And by when it is to be filed? It is to be filed by the 31st December of the next financial year. GSTR9 में जो कि जिन लोगों ने GSTR1, 2 and 3 भरा है उन्हें GSTR9 भी फाइल करनी होगी. Since it is an annual return, therefore date is 31st December of the next financial year. And then comes the other form, that is GSTR10. In GSTR10, it is also a final return. That means it is to be by whom it is to be filed? It is to be filed by the taxable person whose registering has been surrendered or cancelled. By when it is to be filed? It is to be filed by within the 3 months of the date of the cancellation. Basically GSTR10 में क्या होता है कि जिस दिन से हमने अपने बिजनेस को क्रॉस किया है यानी कि कैंसिलेशन ऑर्डर दिया गया है उस दिन हम ये फाइल रिटर्न ये फॉर्म फिल करते हैं जो कि है GSTR10. उसके 3 मंथ्स के अंदर हमें ये फिल करना होता है कैंसिलेशन ऑर्डर के डेट आने के अंदर. And now comes the 11th type of GST return, that is GSTR11. In this, what to file? It comes details of the inward supplies to be furnished by a person having UIN. Here UIN means a unique identification number. बेसिकली इसके अंदर क्या होता है जो गवर्नमेंट असेसीज हैं वो ये रिटर्न्स फाइल करते हैं जिनको अपना रिफंड चाहिए होता है या क्लेम वापस चाहिए होता है. एंड देन बाय whom it is to be filed? It is to be filed by the government body or the United Nations body having UIN. ये फॉर्म फिल करने के लिए UIN होना काफ़ी ज़्यादा ज़रूरी मैंडेटरी है. And then by when it is to be filed? It is to be filed by the 28th of the month following the month for which statement is filled. So these are the 11 types of different types of GST returns. So mostly people fill only GSTR1, 2 and 3 and 9. Basically people have to fill only GSTR1 as 2 and 3 are automated corporated or generated. In 1 month only 3 returns are filed. रिटर्न्स फाइल करते समय जो है हमें इनवॉइस डिटेल्स शुड बी प्रॉपरली एंड एक्यूरेटली फिल्ड, दैट इज़ इन GSTR1, क्योंकि बाकी सब तो ऑटोमेटिकली जनरेटेड हो जाता है, बस हमें उन्हें वेरीफाई करना होता है और मैच करना होता है. While filing the returns, whether it is a small firm or the big firm, invoice should be properly filled, including the number, GST number, date, party, to whom good is sold, or whether इन्वॉइस फिल करते समय हमें प्रॉपर नंबर, GST नंबर, डेट, पार्टी, टू हुम गुड इज़ सोल्ड, देयर GST नंबर, रिवर्स मैकेनिज़्म, कितने परसेंटेज चार्ज में आता है, टैक्सेबल वैल्यू, एवरीथिंग शुड बी प्रॉपरली फिल्ड. इट इज़ मैंडेटरी टू फिल ऑल दिस थिंग्स एंड इट इज़ रिक्वायर्ड टू बी प्रॉपरली फिल्ड. अगर इसमें थोड़ी सी भी प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है तो हमें पेनल्टीज़ लगा दी जाती हैं या फिर इंटरेस्ट हमें और ज़्यादा फिल देना पड़ता है. सो इट इज़ रिक्वायर्ड टू फिल देम प्रॉपरली. टाइप्स ऑफ रिटर्न जो है उन्हें बनाया ही इसी तरीके से ये है कि ताकि कोई भी ट्रांजेक्शन जो है अनअटेंडेड ना रहे बिटवीन द बायर एंड द सेलर. यहाँ पर एक बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट बात ये है कि ये जो फॉर्म्स हैं ये फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट होते हैं, मेंटेन बाय द GSTN फॉर ईच टैक्स पेयर. इट कैन बी असेस्ड एनी टाइम थ्रू अ यूज़र ID एंड पासवर्ड that is why 24/7. The government has automated all the forms together by bringing the same details on a real-time basis in front of the taxpayers. The step which is of paramount importance is step number 1, that is form GSTR1, जो कि मैंने आपको ऑलरेडी बता ही दिया है कि GSTR1 कितना ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि उसी से आगे हमारी सारी एक्टिविटीज़ जो हैं वो होती हैं, उसी के थ्रू ही हमारे ऑल फॉर्म्स आर फिल्ड. इट विल फॉर्म द बेसिस फॉर ऑल द फर्दर एक्टिविटीज़. और एक और बात यहाँ पर ये आती है कि एनी शॉर्ट कमिंग्स और द शॉर्ट फाइलिंग्स of fillings of information in the details provided by the suppliers can be rectified, changed or deleted by the recipients in ample period of time. हम उन्हें चेंज भी कर सकते हैं और रेक्टिफाई भी कर सकते हैं. इट इज़ अ सीमलेस प्रोसेस दैट मैचेस ऑल इन्फॉर्मेशन टुगेदर टू गेट द फाइनल क्रेडिट फिगर्स एंड टैक्स पेएबल इफ एनी. And the other thing is the payment challans are also a very crucial part of all the filling process. Without them, it is not possible to clear tax payments and dues in due course of time and also claim credit. यहाँ पे एक और फॉर्म ऐड किया गया है गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा, दैट इज़ GSTR3B रिटर्न. इसमें क्या होता है, इन ऑर्डर टू ईज द बर्डन ऑन द टैक्स पेयर्स, tax authorities have introduced a simple return form called as GSTR3B. This has to be used only for the month of July and August. Every registered taxpayer except for the composition scheme needs to file a separate GSTR3B for each GSTIN they have. This is more like a self-declaration return and the taxpayer is not required to provide invoice level information in this form. Only total values for each field have to be provided. The due date for the filing GSTR3B return is 25th August now. Earlier it was 20th August. So here I would like to conclude my topic. I hope आप सबको ये टॉपिक अच्छे से समझ आया होगा. I have mentioned every detail about all the types of forms that is mandatory to be to be remembered by every person. Thank you.